Okay, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Last night I commented, tonight I rest. Any topics, matchups, and videos you want me to talk about? We got a suggestion from the Brookster. Can you make a similar video about your projectile loops in the corner and when to go for them? So that's what I'm gonna do in this video. We're gonna basically break down the process. Sorry for the illustrious 12-day wait time, but we're about to get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna break down the corner loop with you guys. So the corner loop starts with grab, BTK. Now from here you can do one of 5 moves. You can do BTS, you can do a throw, you can do heavy projectile, 2K2D, and then lastly the overhead. Now these are the 5 moves that make up the loop. All 5 moves could potentially lead into each other. So, and each one of these moves have a deeper layer and reason beyond just using it for the loop. And we're gonna break that down starting with the BTS. Now, BTS is +5 on block. Just to show you, I'm gonna put the opponent, to attack right afterwards. So yeah, you're plus on block, +5 to be exact. And this is going to allow you to play a lot of mind games. Now, the thing I like to do after BTS is I like to go for a grab, which leads them right back into the loop. And the reason why players are susceptible to this is because they're waiting on the overhead after BTS. And you're quickly just like transitioning into a grab. Which is the second reason, because the last thing players expect you to do is to grab while you're in back turn stance, given the fact that you can't throw while you're in back turn stance. So players just not going to be expecting it, but if you do it too often, they will expect it. Also after BTS, I like to go for a 2K2D, which can lead them right back into the loop. And now you got yourself a natural 3-way mix, because now you got the threat of the overhead, and then you got the grab, and then you got 2K2D, so you can't grab and crouch at the same time. So you just got yourself a nice 3-way mix, and it's going to be hard for the player to guess between those 3 options. And the other reason why I like to use BTS is because it baits out players' resources, given the fact that it's +5 on block. So let's see. On block. Okay, yes. So basically, whenever, because you kind of could just smell this thing, like you could smell people's desperation. So like when I got people trapped in the corner, I could smell the desperation to get me off of them. So I just use BTS to like bait out the YRC, and you could also bait out the burst. So even on hit and block, you can still bait out the burst. That take off the block. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Forgot this thing still slides pretty far. So even on hit and block, some players that will block and still burst immediately, and you could kind of just like sense it from players. So you can use the BTS to bait out people's resources. Mainly zoners do this, like especially like Happy Chaos players. They love to just like YOC burst immediately. So that's the deeper layer of like the BTS. Like I'll go for it for the loop, but then if I also want to like bait out players' resources, I'll do it too. Okay, so you can also use the BTS to catch their backdash. So like if they like backdashing, you can actually punish the backdash. So yeah, that's just another reason why I use the BTS on wake up. Okay, so next we got the H projectile. Now I like to use the H projectile just for complete lockdown. The opponent can't backdash, wake up throw, they can't jump, and you're just plus on block afterwards. So afterwards, I like to go for a grab, or I'll go for 2K2D, and then you can do it. You can do an H projectile after 2K2D. Just lead right back into it. And right there, you got yourself another natural 50-50. You got to guess between the grab or the 2K2D, and your plus on block. So you kind of just like navigate the opponent's wake up options if they don't have a DP emitter. And even if they do have a DP emitter, you can still use the H projectile as long as you have meter. So let's set them to do a wake up super. You literally just wait till you visually see the reversal to actually to DP it. I mean to RC it, and you could get a combo afterwards. Now Kai pushes you a little far back. You can do something like that, then break the wall. And say if they a YRC. I know y'all see me do this a lot. They bait out their drone. And some players, you don't even need to do that because they like YRC like really late, like at the end of the H projectile animation. And sometimes I just bait out their YRC without having to spend resources. But if they do it immediately, then it's not going to work. So you actually have to burn meter. You never know what type of person you're going to get, whether they do it immediately or after. So you just got it's up to you to just make the right call. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the H projectile. You want to go for that natural 50-50, the throw or the low, and to bait out players' resources and just, you know, navigate people's wake up options. This is what helps you loop, because this is what keep the opponent from doing random stuff on wake up. This will like condition them to just keep blocking when they wake up. And then you can start throwing in other things besides the H projectile and doing stuff like that. Okay, next we got the throw. So after you grab 2K, you could just go in for another grab. I usually do this after I get them conditioned from like BTS or the H projectile. But this is something they're just not expecting, because for the reasons I stated earlier is that, you know, they don't expect you to do a grab straight out of back turn stance, because they're, you know, you can't throw from back turn stance. So people let their guard down from throwing to block Leo's options from his back turn stance. So that's just another useful thing. And then the second reason I use it is like I do it against DP characters, because someone's enticed to do a DP. And just bait out their DP, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, players get really desperate when you got them trapped in the corner. So I expect them to use the options they have to try to get out of it, and then I just counter it appropriately. Okay, so next we got 2K2D. After grabbing 2K, kick him off a DP. This is good because, like I said, they'll be expecting to grab, either grab or do BTS or do the overhead. And this is just adding a new layer to the mix, which after 2K2D, you could just go back into a heavy projectile. I have to turn that off too. Jesus Christ. So you can go for a heavy projectile, and after that you could probably go for a grab, or you could do another low. And this is just a little side mix, because once I get this in, I usually like going for like an overhead. As soon as they wake up, the overhead will hit, just in case they try to like mash throw or stuff of that nature, or mash buttons, they'll get hit by the overhead. And now you got yourself another 50-50 and a potential way to go back into the loop from there on out. And lastly, we got the overhead. Now, I don't usually use the overhead because that's the first thing people expect. I use all these other options first. I bait out all the resources and try to keep them in the corner as long as possible, so I can finally do the overhead. And I just automatically do the overhead into special. And the reason for this is because even if they block the overhead, they're still plus on block. So you can still continue assault even if they do block it. So that's just the final piece of the mix. That's just the icing on the cake. Once you get them in the corner, you kind of just ravaged all their resources and their spirits. You just hit them with the overhead and you dunk them through the wall. And that's pretty much it for, you know, the loop. And I hope I explained it every step by step so you can understand it, because sometimes I struggle with like explaining shit. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video, you found it useful, and I'm gonna see you on the next video, and leave more suggestions down below in the comments. See you on the next video. Peace.